This is Ken Mercer, and welcome to your United States History and Civics examination. I'm going to share with you today, you're going to hear at least 3 different items. It will be very important if you're studying for your exam to become a citizen of the United States of America. Today's question, what constitutional amendment was a result of the Civil War? Or perhaps restated, what amendment to our Constitution was a result of the Civil War? Was it A, abolition of slavery, B, basic civil rights and due process, C, right to vote for African American males, or D, all of the above? And the answer is D, all the above. I refer to it as the trilogy of Civil War amendments. Some folks call it the Reconstruction Amendments, but they're all passed by Congress, which requires 2/3 passage of the House, 2/3 of the Senate, and then 3/4 of the state have to agree to pass these constitutional amendments. The 13th abolished slavery and involuntary servitude. This is the signature amendment of what president? Abraham Lincoln. Actually, he ran for re-election in 1864. He already had the proclamation, an executive order, but that was only for the 11 states who left the Union and formed the Confederacy. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery, involuntary servitude for every state, every territory, now and forever. Again, Abraham Lincoln's signature amendment. He was alive when it passed the House and Senate. He had been assassinated before it was ratified by the states. The 14th Amendment provided the rights of basic citizenship and due process to all African American families. Again, the rights of citizenship and due process. It reversed what I call the worst Supreme Court decision in history, the Dred Scott decision, which said if you're black, you have no rights, you have no right to due process. Again, the 14th Amendment said, yes, you have rights, and you're guaranteed equal protection under the laws. And find the 15th Amendment. It prohibited the federal or state governments from denying a black man the right to vote. It gave the right to vote for African American men. Interesting part of history, there was an effort to also give the right to vote for women in the 15th Amendment. I believe it's Frederick Douglass who led that. Unfortunately, the nation was not ready for that yet. It would happen decades later, but the 15th Amendment was the right to vote for African American males. Again, I call the trilogy of Civil War amendments or Reconstruction Amendments. The 13th, abolishing slavery. The 14th, the right to due process, basic citizenship, and the 15th, the right for African American males to cast a vote. I hope you enjoyed today's session. Again, the question was, what constitutional amendment was a result of the Civil War? Not meant to be a trick question, because the answer is really 3. A trilogy of Civil War amendments, of Reconstruction amendments, and a very important part of American history and a very important part of your test to become a citizen of the United States of America. Thank you, my friends. God bless you.